Could the government seize gold from private citizens? Now, this is something we have seen in the 20th century, most famously 1933 in America, where the US government said private citizens can't own gold bullion. This also happened in the United Kingdom, 1966. The government turned around to citizens, seized gold, said you can't own more than 4 gold coins. Bearing in mind, in the United Kingdom, the gold sovereign is the most common gold investment coin, which is very light. It's less than 8 grams. I think it's like 7.3 grams. So 4 gold sovereigns is still less than 1 troy ounce. Bearing in mind, I suggest everybody in the West should own at least 1 ounce of gold. So 4 sovereigns, if they reintroduce something like the 1966 laws, 4 sovereigns will be less than 1 troy ounce of gold. So they are fairly draconian. Now, the reasons why governments introduce capital controls, why they seize gold, why they potentially would stop people owning from foreign stocks is in economic catastrophic situations. They want to limit the pounds leaving the country, because if the country continues down the road we are currently on, the road that the Chancellor is taking us down, that the Bank of England are taking us down, if there are not quite severe U-turns over the next few years, the pound is only going to decrease in value, and that may accelerate. It may accelerate to potentially very high or potentially even hyperinflationary environment. If and when that happens, they do not want people using other assets, because they need to try and keep the confidence in the pound. As people start fleeing, as people start turning to cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, or even just trying to move wealth outside the UK by taking pounds and converting them into foreign currencies, although with everything that's happening in the world, most foreign currencies are doing exactly the same problems that the pound has. But people may look to gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, or even investing in foreign stocks just to preserve some of their wealth. This is something potentially the government may look at clamping down on. Now, will they do it? I don't know. There is a precedent in the past, 1933 in the US, 1966 in the UK. So there is a precedent there. Bearing in mind, when you buy gold, or probably silver as well in the UK, I know they definitely do this on gold, especially large quantities of gold through authorized dealers. Basically, unless you're buying gold or silver on the second-hand market, the taxman, the government know what you're doing. The gold dealers have an obligation to tell the government, tell HMRC who is buying gold. Now, some of this is to do with tax avoidance reasons. They want to monitor who is moving wealth here and there, if it is to do with tax evasion, or if it is to do with crime, you know, hiding money, money laundering, etc. They do it for that reason, but they know who has gold. They know who has gold. So potentially it won't be hard to take that data, start knocking on doors if the gold confiscation happens. Now, do I think it's definitely going to happen? No, certainly not. It's probably less than a 50% realistic outcome, but the road the Bank of England are taking us down, the road that the Chancellor is taking us down, if there are not fairly immediate U-turns over the next few months, or next few months to next few years, there's still confidence in the pound for this time. But as time goes on, every day that goes on, more and more people are, I think, starting to realize that fiat money doesn't really work. Fiat money throughout history does not work. So if you want safety, you probably do not want to be in fiat money. Now, as more and more people realize that, governments have a problem, because fiat money, the pound, US dollar, euro, yen, Swiss franc, more or less, only works off confidence, right? Once confidence is gone, you have serious problems. And in that instance, they may impose, I think capital controls themselves are quite likely. Capital controls, there's probably a probable chance that will happen as the economic situation gets worse. May take 10-15 years to come in. Gold confiscation, maybe. It really depends on what the government looks like. Are they in fact indeed willing to go down a road that will be fairly draconian? But they have done it in the past, done it in 1966, done it in 1933. So maybe not. I know in the comments some people say, look, they're trying to put all their money into gold, all their money into silver. Bearing in mind, the government knows who you are, especially if you're buying through authorized dealers. They know who has gold, where it's kept, your address, who you are, everything about you. So just bear that in mind. Maybe you want to have money in other assets that are more difficult for the government to seize from you. Just one to think about today, guys. Gold confiscation, it is a reality. I'll do further videos on what happened in 1933, what happened in 1966, capital controls, stopping money leaving the country, why they do it. But it's just one to think about. Gold confiscation, do you think it could happen? I think it's a possibility. I don't think it's a definite. It's probably less than 50% chance they would do it, but capital controls certainly are something that the UK government probably will look at as the situation deteriorates, to give some stability to the pound sterling, give it some confidence, try and kick this can down the road by another 10, 15 years before the eventual collapse happens. Will they get that long? Who knows? Predicting collapses is a very difficult thing to do. Thanks for watching this video, guys. As always, gold is money. Everything else is just credit, and I'll see you in the next video.